Guys, it's me, the Silver Bear here, and if you did not see the trailer for the Battlefield 1 on the reveal live stream, it was amazing. I was so excited, so pumped, and in this video I'm just going to be doing an analysis of the trailer. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so let's get into the first clip. So as we can see here, there is a man who's actually a German soldier hitting another man who's either British or American. We can tell this by their hat. They were only used, they were the same type of hat, but they were only used by Americans and British in World War I. You can see them getting hit over the head with this tool. Now this is mostly a, one they'd make in the trenches. It's not something they'd be given for the war. It's like a club, and it has nails and all this nasty stuff coming out the ends of it. Now they are pretty nasty, they're pretty brutal, a lot of bleeding damage, and multiple hits would have to kill the enemy in World War I, which is pretty gruesome actually. They decided to put it in the game, so there we go. In the background there we can see blimps. Now these were usually used to either drop bombs or to spot enemies for either side. No matter which one, they both had blimps, really. We can see the location they're in is no man's land. Now we can see barbed wire and sticks, and it's very muddy. Now in the actual game this could be quite immersive, being in no man's land. There could be smoke everywhere, bombs going off, dirt hitting your mask, you'll get all blurry. Maybe if you go into the barbed wire you'll get damaged or maybe stuck, and maybe your friend would have to cut you out. Maybe that's a feature. Maybe that's going a bit too far, as this is just an arcadey game, but I think that would be pretty cool. We can see on the back of the British or American soldier this grenade type thing. Now this stick with multiple, say, canisters on the end of it could be a selection of mustard gas grenades or normal grenades, or just one big grenade. We don't know really. Moving on to the next part. Okay, so here we can see a person on horseback with a sword in a desert. It's looking pretty hot, could be maybe the Ottoman Empire, something like that. But it's looking like this is going to be a vehicle of some sort, because I can't see a load of people on horses charging spell. I can see why it'd be cool, but it'd be unfair, as maybe the other team wouldn't have this kind of stuff. However, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna imagine that the horse is gonna be a vehicle you can get into, like say like a tank or a jeep in Battlefield 4, but instead they can have things like this. I'd imagine that it's going to be pretty unfair if someone is shooting a gun at you and you're on a horse, so maybe extra health when you're on the horse even if they shoot you, and the sword probably does a bit of damage, I'd say anyway. So moving on to the next clip. Okay, so into the next part we're seeing I think it's a woman actually, which could mean that Battlefield's getting a bit more diverse, which I think's a good thing actually. And we can see markings on her face, which probably means she's native to the area, which is pretty cool. I'm still thinking Ottoman Empire, as they were involved in some parts of World War I. Okay, so here I'm seeing a plane. I'm thinking it's British due to the marks on its wings, and we can see a pretty big gun in the back with a guy controlling it. Now this is definitely telling us that it's World War I, as they didn't really use these in World War II. In fact, I don't think they used them at all. We can see biplanes having a dogfight, I believe, in the background. One's chasing another. That's what I think I'm seeing anyway. And I'm seeing blimps as well. There, more blimps, which are lower than the planes, which could mean possibly we could take them out and be like, diverse levolution, I suppose, because they could be going around, it could be any part of the map at any time. You shoot them down and maybe they'll crash, create cover, all sorts of capabilities and possibilities here. I'm seeing it's over no man's land, of course. It's quite dirty. It's quite weird actually how you see all this nice land at the sides and then this huge dirty patch in the middle, and fire and all sorts. I think this is pretty cool, and maybe there'll be a mode like air superiority in Battlefield 4 with biplanes, which will be pretty cool actually. On to the next part. Now, what you're seeing here is either a British or American soldier getting hit over the head with a shovel. Now, this shovel would be used to dig out trenches. It's a trenching tool. It's pretty painful, as you can imagine, getting hit over the head with a spade. I'm thinking that melee is going to be a pretty big part of Battlefield. From what we've seen so far, we've seen probably loads of clips of people getting hit over the head with things already, just throughout the background and scenery in general. We're also seeing this guy hitting him over the head is obviously German. He's got the same gas mask on as the guy before hitting the British or American over the head. On to the next part. So what we're seeing here is crutches on the back of this soldier. Now this is probably our first look at the medic class, which has been separated from the assault class in the new game. Now I wasn't a particularly good jet flyer in Battlefield 3 or 4, so this is pretty cool. This is biplanes, which of course there were no really advanced planes in World War 1, so it was only just biplanes. And they are in a dogfight currently. It's obviously going to be a bit more slow paced because they're biplanes that can't go as fast as jets. Now here is an inside of the tank. Now unlike in World War II where you'd have quite good controls, tanks had to be controlled by levers in World War I and weren't that advanced. They didn't have big turrets on the top that could turn around in 360s. They usually had guns on the side that had more people into control, which you'll see now. Now here are these side guns I was talking about on the side of the tank. Now these weren't in World War II and they were only in World War I really. They didn't have turrets, as I said, on the top. They had these which were controlled by separate gunners. We can see to the left of the tank this man carrying this very big gun. This gun is most probably going to be an anti-tank rifle, which is very powerful and probably going to be something like a one-shot kill to people and do quite a lot of damage to vehicles. It's also going to have attachments, as we can see, so we're going to keep our beloved attachments in Battlefield 1 because you can see a bipod on the gun. What we're seeing here is a biplane coming in loaded to take out a row of horsemen running in, probably part of the Ottoman Empire. As we can see, a low level of armour on the soldiers. This is going to be pretty destructive, as you imagine a Gatling gun on a biplane mowing down horses. Now here is a soldier of some sort holding what I believe to be as a Colt 911. On the left here we're seeing some sort of allied soldier getting shot down and falling to the ground, and in the distance we're seeing what I believe to be mustard gas. Here we can see some sort of Gatling gun in the soldier's hand, and he seems to be mowing down a soldier that has just come out of that mustard gas. Now here we can see him putting a gas mask on. Now this is obviously to go into the mustard gas. Unfortunately in real life mustard gas would burn your skin, so maybe he's also wearing a suit to repel that. This could be a gadget, so maybe it'll be 2 gadget slots and one could be the suit and one could be the mask. Either way you're going to take damage unless it's going to play like a game and not actually burn your skin, so all you need is a gas mask. This could be relating to a new kind of unlock system, as not too many people actually like the way you unlock things in Battlefield 4. People wanted it where they had a certain amount of experience points, and then once they did that they could choose what they wanted to unlock, not what they got next. So maybe they'll do something like that, a bit like what happened in Battlefield Hardline with the money and the buying of what you want. Here we have some sort of person in metal armor. This could be a pickup like there is in Battlefront, as it does look pretty powerful. It's carrying some sort of Gatling gun and looks pretty hard to kill. Here we have a trench, which is obviously typical for World War I. This could mean there might be a new game mode. Obviously you couldn't have a trench game mode in Battlefield 4, it wouldn't really make sense. But there seems to be a trench here, maybe trench warfare will be going on in Battlefield 1. I think that could be pretty cool, however it could get a bit annoying. Maybe spawn camping, something like that. Maybe there'll be pushes across no man's land. Maybe there'll be historical scenarios where it plays out and you have to play each side. All these ideas are pretty cool. and I'd love to see them. Here we're seeing a soldier using a flamethrower. These were quite heavily used in World War I as they could clear out trenches pretty well, and they caused a lot of pain. Very much also on the uniforms that the oppositions on both sides used to wear, they cut almost instantly. What you're seeing here is a typical image of World War I, a battleship or a warship. Now these were quite heavily used by the British especially, as Britain has water all around it and there was no other really good way in apart from air, but you'd be shot down almost instantly, especially in biplanes. This could mean some cool new game modes like we have in Naval Strike, but I was thinking more of like in Battlefront, where you can get in a 80-80 for a certain amount of time, say it is a minute, and you just rain hell on everything. This could be pretty cool with this, because you could pick up something that lets you go into the warship for 1 minute and just rain fire on the island or wherever the fight is. It'd be a really cool game mode. Or there could be something going on like a Naval Strike where you have to take it over and things like that. Or there might just be ship battles themselves, which would be even cooler. Here you're seeing artillery, which was used in World War I, and especially on No Man's Land. It would absolutely pepper No Man's Land, which would stop all troops from the enemy coming to your trench. This could be an insight to our commander mode in this game, where you can call in strikes from artillery and things like that. Or it could be a pickup you get as a soldier and you have to use it. Or another idea is you actually have to control these things like mortars. What we're seeing here is a blimp. Now these are obviously earlier in the video and used to spot and bomb on enemies. This could mean a new game mode where you have to take it down, or you have to board it, or maybe you can actually pilot it, and maybe this will be another thing like the 80-80 in Star Wars Battlefront, where you can just rain hell down for a few minutes. I think this is going to mean diverse revolution as well. As I said earlier, maybe you're going to be able to shoot this thing down, create new cover, create new things to go in through. Maybe there'll be pickups in there once you've destroyed them. Just some nice ideas. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. It's taken so long to get all this stuff together, all the information, editing it together, putting the audio in. Oh, it's been a nightmare, but I've had fun doing it. I really enjoyed the trailer. I'm really pumped for this game, and I hope to be making more videos on Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 1 in the future. Remember, if you did like this video, remember to subscribe, share and like, and I will see you in the next one. See ya!